Hello and welcome back, everyone, to the Marsara colony at 8:21, probably AM? Probably AM. As the Hyperion is under attack by a squad of mutilisks.
Dun, 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 dun. So cinematic.
Yes, we are in a cinematic coming back into StarCraft 2, Wings of Liberty campaign.
Fair enough.
See, I thought for a moment we were going to have a Witcher 3 dialogue option.
Concentrate forward firepower.
We never actually get dialogue options. The story isn't flexible enough for that.
Well, I mean, real-time strategy.
we are going to get several options in the campaign. They're just not going to be dialogue options. Whoosh!
It's alright, we don't really need dialogue options in the game where the best options are deployment.
Why attack Marsara now? It's not just Marsara. You need to see this.
Uh-oh.
Devastation
spread throughout the entire sector, Mr. Cloud.
The Outer Rim. The Outer Rim is always under attack first. Damn them.
Hey, Kerrigan.
The Queen of Blades is here now! Dun 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 dun. Ominous stare.
You know, it's interesting that Raynor's got those shotgun shells attached to his ammo belt, especially because he doesn't actually use a shotgun.
The symbol of readiness. He's the ammo dude. Says, hey, give me ammo. And it gives you ammo.
Alright. Now we're back on the Hyperion Bridge 15 minutes later. This will be our primary hub for, through a majority of the Wings of Liberty campaign. The Hyperion allows us access to a bunch of interesting logistical areas, as Horner is attempting to explain.
Knowing him, he's already got upgrades for us.
I hate to ask, sir, but is there a reason that...
But is there a reason why John Coffey is sitting outside of his cell?
He helped me out of a real bind a few years back. I owe him.
Well, your friend has a criminal record as long as...
Mine. Believe me. If Tychus Finley wanted me dead...
That old off-screen roll-off criminal record cliche. Yeah, I watched Green Mile. You don't actually see what the guilty guy did, but everybody assures you that it was pretty bad.
We do actually get a confirmation of what one of the
What do you got?
well, we get a confirmation on what John was accused of, and we also get confirmation on the first guy. Matter of fact, we get a confirmation on all three of the people that we see go to the electric chair.
But that artifact we just picked up from
Yeah.
Marsara is going to solve everything.
But by narrative, not by like flashback or what have you.
I heard that one too.
All right, this is the armory. We can use the credits that we farmed up a little bit earlier in order to start improving our forces. I will be showing off the upgrades that we get, as Pasquerda is mentioning here. I don't know how to max out all the upgrades specifically because I'm always like more than a full mil short on upgrades, and I think in order to max out all the upgrades, you have to specifically not do any of the recruitments of mercenaries that we get access to later, as well as you have to complete all of the bonus objectives throughout the entire campaign.
That would create an abundance of usable money. Yep.
Alright, off to Agria. I am doing this campaign very linearly, like I usually do. We will be going. We'll be going mostly for barracks unlocks first, and then moving on throughout that.
Nice.
The colony is lost. For the past 12 hours, we've been evacuating people to the nearest starport, but
Quick, deploy the more powerful stuff. We can't afford it, sir. Why don't we have the cash? Because it's too early in the game. Ah!
Don't worry, Doc. We'll get your folks through to that starport safe and sound.
I pray you're right, Commander. The Zerg are more terrible than I ever imagined.
Jesus Christ, we got like literally like probably 1 to 100. That is the ratio of minutes of video in StarCraft 2 versus minutes of video in StarCraft 1.
It's closer to 1 to 20. I mean, you have to remember that StarCraft 1 and Brood War were 99 and 2007.
Yeah. So they also had to... So Blizzard took into account that a paradigm shift had occurred, that the player has come to expect a more ensconcing experience with the game by spending a lot of time outside of the game, but still with the elements that you find in the game.
Alright, as Pascal is mentioning here, we got access to the Firebat unit, which are extremely good against the Zerg light units, and literally nothing fucking else. As such, the Firebats are okay against Zerglings, and yeah, nothing else. I will never again, after these two Firebats, have Firebats in my primary force. The thing that the Firebats are specifically good at are being a decent front line. But that only matters if you need a front line. As we are Terrans, we don't usually need a front line. We are going to, for the most part, just have access to a decent amount of tanking through the fact that we get access to medics. It's been a while since we actually did our last recording session, so I've forgotten if I've already talked about what our unit composition is mostly going to be. We're going to be going Marine Medic for a majority of the run. And the reason being is because Marine Medic is, well, according to the Korean pros that you may have the ability to understand potentially, it is the highest DPS composition of any of the potential 2-unit compositions in the entire game. Nice. That said, it requires a shitload of micro in order to have it work in competitive play, and I do not have the micro skills for that to be, viable in competitive. Terran is actually of the 3 races, Terran is the one that I am second best with.
Yeah, I've always stuck with the Terran, as I might have mentioned in other videos. It's well, it's accessible. I always suspected that the Marines they're at the bottom, yes, but because of upgrade trees and stim packs, you can really wreck shit up by the economies of scale principle that you run into in RTS games like this. Sometimes having more of the same thing is better than having a variety of things in equal measure.
That's definitely what the Zerg principle is trying to teach you, but for the Protoss, it's directly the opposite. The Protoss very explicitly need to build a death ball, which is a bunch of different units in decent numbers in order to be successful at anything.
In variety,
it's partially what
because
makes Protoss factually the worst race in StarCraft 1, because not only do all their shit take forever to build, they have to have a decent number of the shit that takes forever to build in order to be viable. And they can't max out on any one unit, with the exception of the Dragoon. But I already showed off that during our StarCraft 1 playthrough.
The wheels.
This is a problem that I think I've already mentioned happening throughout the entirety of the run. Medics actually have slightly faster movement speed than any of the other infantry units, so they always end up in front.
The Zerg attacked. They didn't give a damn about the colony.
The fucking transport unit just. Have you ever heard a rock and roll rendition of the Wheels on the Bus?
No, but I think that's a good thing, because rock and roll renditions of nursery rhymes tend to be very off-putting.
It's just amazing how much nursery rhymes are really just designed to familiarize children with things they're going to be spending the rest of their lives with.
Yeah. Alright, as Pascal was mentioning, we're not going to actually utilizing the bunkers that we start with here, specifically because having a mobile force is just significantly better, especially towards the ladder escorts.
Escort.
It's important for us to pick up these resource caches so that we can do reinforcements at home. Even though we're not going to be attacked, we are going to need a large amount of Marines, a larger amount of medic Marines during the last couple of escorts. Ooh, bonus objective.
Oh, thank God. This is a great time for bonus objective because, you know, the one thing about escort missions that sets it apart from more aggressive, like destroy everything missions, is that it's not up to you necessarily how long the fucking mission takes. It's waiting for the script to unroll all the way to the end.
That's what a lot of these missions are intending from design, but you can circumvent that in specific instances. I don't think this is one of them that you can circumvent it, but a later mission, which is effectively an escort mission, or rather, as the later mission, which is a defend the point mission, you can clear early if you manage to take down all of the enemy forces.
Right, alternate win con, which is cool. Another thing that I want to note was cool was that the game is teaching you to multitask, which is brilliant. You multitasking
I wanted to make sure
is
that
the
this
most
part was,
as we were
only,
just
15 minutes long because we're only going through this particular mission, this one. And yes, because it is an RTS game, I have to jump cut a lot.
Thank you.
I have already done the Heart of the Swarm editing at this point, and yes, there will be plenty of jump cuts in that as well. But what you see here is the fact that I built a second barracks in order to increase our unit production quite significantly, so that we can actually start exploring around for the other bonus objectives. We need to go find the other chrysalis nodes that are scattered in these two different paths here. There's one that goes to the south and one that is up into the north.
And the wheels on the bus go round and round.
Hydraulics projecting this. There we go. If you bothered to explore the entirety of the map, there's a bunch of additional resource caches that you can get. There is also, however, a Zerg base in the upper left corner that you have to scout out, but not actually engage to get the last chrysalis. I think there's also another small Zerg base on the eastern side of the map, but I'm not entirely sure.
Who wants some?
Go, go, go! Got it.
So it's new in the world of Cloud as we continue to jump cut.
Well, I did, it bears repeating because we were doing a significant amount of testing before this episode. That I'm actually proud of myself today. I went a whole day without eating any meat, and it worked. I did not go hungry.
Nice.
Yeah, because vegetarian is good. Doing it once a week is good. Doing it twice a week is better. Doing it 3 times a week.
It's not a thing that I could reasonably do though. The budget, we don't have a secure enough budget for it.
It takes, exactly. It takes, to really be the master of diet, you have to, well, first of all, I don't think anybody is really the master of the diet because at some point you make a concession, and so it's part of life, that it takes a lot of planning. It takes a lot of planning.
But when we live in America where it is ridiculously expensive to try and become the master of dieting.
Well, let me think. Honestly, I think you would. It's the only drawback again is you're at the mercy of supply. You have the money, but can you actually get the beans?
For the record, I do not have the money, so there.
So there you go. Destroyed.
Alright. This may look like a bit of excessive of a force, and to be perfectly honest, it almost is. But with us having gotten the bonus objectives, now we're effectively just waiting for the mission to end, because we're not actually going to go take down the base in the northwest corner.
Convoy's in danger. Hit 'em, boys.
Yeah, damn right it's boring. So this is a fucking 15-minute long mission. Like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. This mission sucks, sir. Understood,
Jump
sir.
cut to the last wave. Please note that I stuck true to my word earlier. I'm not building any more fire bats. I still have the 2 fire bats from the start.
The doctor is in.
So this is you just pausing the wheels, and then you build a bunch of Marines. Or did you bring everybody back to base?
I brought everyone back to base.
Oh.
Of course.
Oh, the colonists. We're escorted okay, well, that was the part that I missed, is that you have to take... That the bus can only fit, what, 6 colonists at a time?
I think it's technically... I think it's 8. It's a mixture between 8 and 10.
Yeah. You know, it actually did not occur to me before this recording that I always wonder why the Wheels on the Bus is such a catchy tune. Is because the first 2 notes of that song is a fifths interval, the dominant going into the root. The wheels. A lot of songs do that.
But you see what I mean about my medics, dude? This is an annoyance that always ends up screwing me over. Because look, I've got 3 medics in the front line, and attempting to push them back just destroys the entire formation. And then I still have 3 medics in the front line.
It's just too much collision happening, like trying to send sand down a drinking straw.
Thankfully, with so many Marines, we get to effectively ignore the Nidus forms that are showing up. Also, it's important to note that we got +1/+1, as in we got 1 attack and 1 armor upgrade for our infantry units. Terran rather explicitly require for a good portion of the campaign require maxing out their whatever units you decide to do for the particular mission. They usually require to get maxed out armor and attack upgrades. Not necessarily on normal, but on the higher difficulty, specifically brutal. If you don't have maxed out attack and armor upgrades, you're just gonna get shredded.
Sure.
Okay, so I conjecture this takes probably between like well, if you wanna, you know, not make it a close call, I think you can build a balanced force within 15 minutes.
Cloud, this mission took me 25 minutes.
In how many tries?
1.
So you
I don't think I've ever
overprepared.
actually lost this mission.
It's alright though, because the only thing worse than being overprepared is being underprepared.
Also, we actually hit 200 unit supply.
That's the last of them. Go. Lift off now.
We've lost the colony, but my people got out alive, thanks to you, Commander.
You know, we could have saved those colonists too, because those corruptors and those mutilisks, they're not all that powerful. Alright, in the next episode, we'll be continuing on Agria in order to continue on helping Miss Ariel Hansen attempt to rescue her persons. Be safe, everybody.